skating. We visited the Vulcan Park and Museum, which
Right.
was a great experience. We even walked on the Vulcan Trail, which was by accident, which I'll see in
Yeah.
other videos,
Right.
to come. But that was an accident, but I even enjoyed that. The
Okay.
scenery was everything.
It's
So
different. Okay.
yeah, I'm glad I came out here. I really, really, thoroughly enjoyed myself.
Are you
100%.
ready? Are you ready to leave, or could you do another week here?
I could definitely do another week here.
Okay.
It's just so clean here in Alabama. Period. It's just I mean that's the South. Period. Like it's
Right.
just clean, and the people here are just so. Everybody here has manners.
They speak neighbors who you don't even know speaking. Who's in
Yeah,
Birmingham.
exactly.
It's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Like you don't see stuff like that. Stuff like that doesn't happen in New York. Like you don't rent. Every once in a while it'll happen, but
Right.
it's very rare that randomly like somebody would just walk up to you and start talking to you. And you'll talk back, and then everybody will seem like it's
Right,
cool
it's
and
different.
it's comfortable. Yeah, it's a lot different. The atmosphere is totally
Okay.
different. But I'm glad I came out here. It was very relaxing. I don't want to go back. I could spend another week or 2 weeks here in Alabama just
And
hanging
chilling.
out and chilling
and having a good time.
exactly.
Right. And so did you see the swamps? Did you see the nooses and stuff like that a lot of people from
All
up
right,
north?
so just so y'all know, the reason why he's asking me that is because before I came down here, I had my own perception of what
Right.
Alabama was going to be like. For me, I thought it was going to be swampland. I thought it was going to be
no man's
KKKs
land,
running
no
around the
nothing.
place. I thought it was going to be a bunch of rednecks, hunting us down, and we having. That's what I thought it was going to be.
Nah.
But obviously things have changed.
Yeah.
But obviously I'm not wrong about the way things used to be, because even in the
Right.
museum that we went to, they
Right,
even had like
right.
a couple of civil rights exhibits.
Right.
Showing how far Alabama has come from the way
The
things
way
used
that
to
it
be.
used to be, yeah. Martin Luther King, the different
Yeah.
videos that we saw in the museum when we went,
Yeah,
the boy bus card, all that good stuff that I don't think even though a lot of people are black and so forth, I still don't think that they know the history like they should.
right.
And you have to take advantage of the areas that you live in. Like we were staying with a couple of friends this weekend, and the guy who's originally from there, but even really didn't get a chance to see the stuff that we saw. So
Right.
for everybody, honestly, I feel like it was a great experience, and I feel like we would do it all over again if we had that extra time.
Definitely.
But everything was cherished, man. We ate real good. We
Mhm.
met some of my friends' friends.
Yeah, shout outs to Dre, shout outs
yeah,
to Warren.
most definitely.
Most
definitely. They're
they
good
showed
people,
love. They showed a lot of love. I was like, what just happened?
man.
They showed a
But,
lot of love to us this weekend.
Yeah.
They just recently moved into their own apartment
Right.
in Birmingham.
Right.
I love the apartment. The very first day
It's
that we
good.
came out here, we were helping them put furniture
Right.
together and stuff
Right.
like
That
that.
was crazy.
That was even
That
fun.
was crazy.
Like we did a lot. I've
was
only
crazy.
been out here for a short period of time, but
Right.
I feel like I thoroughly had a vacation.
Right.
And everything was good.
Yeah, and the thing that made me laugh at Centriq and everything was the fact that I asked him that had he ever heard of a place called Logan's, and it's a place here that it's a steak place, but it's like a miniature version of like a Texas Roadhouse and so
Mhm.
forth, and it was amazing, man. We got a chance to eat real good. We had an amazing waitress. I'm gonna call her waitress because she's a lady.
Hmm.
But she came in with open arms, man, and just took care of us. We had this amazing drink. I mean, this drink
We had a red
was-
cactus punch.
Yeah,
And it was made so that you can share it between two people.
Right.
They give you like 2 ice mugs and then like a big glass jar.
like when
They
back
left
in
it
the
in.
old days, it was like
Yeah.
your own personal jar. It wasn't like a pitcher that you normally get, but it
It
was
was-
like a jar.
Yeah. And
you
it
can-
was made with
yeah.
tequila. It had a little
a
pomegranate
couple
in
of
there,
oranges,
fresh
thrown
fruit
in. Yeah,
and stuff like that. It was really
was
good.
good.
Really
Yeah.
good. Really, really good.
So
I
I
would
was-
definitely. We wanted to order another one, but
Right.
we had to drive
right.
after that.
So we
Gotta
can
be smart
handle
about
too
that.
much.
And plus,
right.
we were going out later on that night,
Right,
so
which
you
we
don't
had-
want to.
we had to decide exactly what we wanted to do. There was a couple of issues there, but we still maintained.
Yeah, we
I
did.
really think we had a good time. But
Mhm.
my thing was I was just trying to make sure he had a good time because when you come to somebody else's city, your big thing is to make sure they have a good time. Make
Yeah.
sure they have a good time.
Right.
So that was my whole big ordeal, and we did a good job.
Yeah, we did.
So, do you think that you got an inspiration here in the city of Alabama for some of your music and stuff? Because I know you're doing a lot of new
Yeah,
music.
definitely. I'm working on a lot of new music. That's definitely coming out for my fans that are watching this right now. Just know, trust me, it's coming. It's on the way. You'll be hearing new songs as soon as like November. That's definitely gonna come around. It's just that
Right.
there's a lot going on. I'm preparing. Those who follow me on Twitter, follow just follow my links and everything like that. Know that I'm in the process of moving as well. I'm relocating to Miami very soon, as early as next year. So that's in the works.
Right.
There's just a lot going on. So like, and in between everything, like, I still work a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
I support my own project. So, the project is definitely coming along really well. I like a lot of the sounds that I'm coming up with, and, my writing is definitely up there. And yeah, being out here is definitely more inspirational. I mean, I definitely have to, finish up on a few more songs, but being out here, clearing my head, taking a break away from everything, away from New York City, which is such a fast-paced, ongoing, stressful environment. To be honest with you, yeah, I pulled a lot, from here, and then from hearing the different kind of music that's played out here, that also inspired me, because then it's just like I have something to go back with and talk about,
right? And my experience,
exactly. So y'all know in my music I talk about my experiences.
Right.
I don't just talk about what everybody else talks about.
Right.
In my music I talk about relative music. Shit
Right.
that people can relate to.
Right,
period.
right. And the reason I can relate to what he's saying is the fact that when I went to go visit them in New York, the music there in the club was a lot of Jamaican music, a lot of hip rolling music and stuff. But see, down here, it's a lot different. It's more fast paced. It's more like rowdy. It's more like what's up,
dirty
what's
South.
up, right?
Yeah,
it's
dirty
South.
South.
Really, like no joking. We was in the club and he was like, "Is this the same? Is this all they gonna play?" And I'm like, "I mean, this is how we get down."
But
here.
I enjoyed myself though. It was definitely a different different environment in the club
right.
than it is in New York. So much more different.
Yeah, it's country moment with his little black.
Like they even have teams out here that actually, like they actually practice on what they're gonna do and how they're gonna battle when they come to the club. It was almost like seeing like a scene from like Step Up.
Yeah.
Like when somebody.
But in a whole nother.
Even Stomp the Yard. That's
style.
what it reminded me of Stomp the Yard, because it was just like you have like teams of people like of dance groups, even like if they're on the same team, but they're battling each other in the middle of the club, and everybody's just it's entertainment, and stuff like that does not happen in New York.
Exactly.
Very rare. Very rare.
And not just to touch up on the stuff that happened here, but their flight coming into the city, leaving from New York. How was the flight leaving from New York to get here?
It was new to me all over again, because it's been a while since I flew. Like I do travel, but most of the time when I travel on ground. In this particular situation, I did fly, and it's something that I had to get used to all over again, because even like the first time out, like I had connecting flights. I have connecting flights going back today, but I had connecting flights, coming to Alabama, and like my ears were popping on the flight, and I was irritated. We had to stop in Philly because there was somebody on the flight that was sick, and I was just like, of course, the first time I fly in a very long time, and now I have to stop in, in an unknown place, because somebody was sick. But they handled the situation professionally, and they really did, because I mean, I was worried about my connecting flight, because obviously I missed my connecting flight. Everybody missed their connecting flight that day because we had to stop off in another city, and but by the time I got out, in my connecting city, they had my tickets ready for the next flight, and my bags, when I landed in Birmingham, my bags were right there. I didn't have to wait.
Airways.
Yeah, US Airways, they held us down. Like I was worried of how things were gonna go, but everything went smooth. Everything went really, really, really smooth. So.
Right, and it's like I was telling you at the beginning of the clip, y'all. It's kind of early for us. We actually had to drive back into the city of Huntsville because he landed in Birmingham.
Yeah, but now we're in Huntsville.
Yeah,
and I'm loving what I see from Huntsville too.
Yeah,
I'm just like, why we ain't go over here? But Huntsville, see, it's not like New York where you can go from Brooklyn to the Bronx to Manhattan to Harlem all by train. Things are a little bit different here in Alabama, because we were on the road for a good minute. I was just like, wait, are we driving back to New York?
Knocked out. Yeah.
I was knocked out, because I got a little head cold, well, chest cold. Yeah. More of like a chest cold. I got like a
in and out of the heat and the
little
cold.
Inflammation all in here before I came down here to Alabama, because New York's weather is crazy right now. One day it'll be like 80 degrees during the day, and then by the time you leave work, it's like 40 degrees.
Right.
So I go to work wearing close to nothing, and then I come out wearing close to nothing, and it's like the weather had me sick. So I took some medicine this morning, so I didn't want to be coughing and all of that on the flight and everything like that.
Right.
And it kind of had me messed up.
Right.
we took care of that situation.
Right, we did, and it's crazy because at first we was like, "Dang, are we gonna miss it?" But like I was explaining to him, like if Huntsville doesn't, the traffic of airplanes and so forth is not as hectic as you would go to like Chicago
Hmm.
or New York and so forth. So when we got in, the first thing we did was check in like that. It was no waiting. It was no
Yeah,
misunderstood stuff. His bags is already checked in. All we waiting on is for him to go ahead and go through security check, and then he'll be on through there. But we
hmm
chilling. Like that's why we're able to
yeah. I
actually
mean,
sit
my
here and talk
bags.
to y'all
I'm
guys.
already checked in. I have my boarding passes. My bag is already checked. So all I have to do is get on this flight. You
Right.
know, it's gonna be a long flight because I actually have to land in Texas first.
Going backwards.
Yeah, and then from Texas to New York, that's like another 4 hour flight. So I
Right.
really don't anticipate being in the air that long.
All
I
right.
don't. I'm not anticipating it, but
Because sleeping on planes is not comfortable at
it's
all.
not comfortable, especially when you're in coach.
You
I'm and
gotta do
nobody.
what you gotta do,
I'm
man.
not doing first class yet. I'm not
You'll
at
get
that
there
level.
though. You'll get
I'll
there.
get there eventually.
But think
You
about
know,
this though.
God willing.
Right, the time that you're not not having on ground, you can take that and put more time into your music because also y'all at the
Exactly.
beginning of this video too, it'll be featuring some of his old music that he used to do. He
Yeah.
does
So
have
for
some new
those of
stuff
you that
coming.
don't know any of my old music or where I've developed from,
Right.
then you'll hear some of that. He'll definitely have the links posted
Yeah.
here at the bottom of where to follow us on Twitter and
Right.
stuff like that, and my Reverb Nation page, he'll have that posted.
Right.
So you could definitely check that out.
Right.
But yeah, this was an exciting trip. I
An
got to spend some time
experience,
with my friend.
Yeah.
And it was a really cool trip. As I said before, we took a lot of pictures.
Yeah.
A lot of videos that he'll probably
Yeah.
add to this video later. I won't be with him to actually edit it with
Yeah.
him. So, but we'll talk
I'm gonna do
over
my
the
best,
phone,
y'all.
and
Yeah, we'll take care of
we'll
it.
take ideas, and he'll see what he can do.
Yeah.
So try to
Like I told
so
y'all,
that y'all experience what we
I'm in
experience.
there. This is my, a couple of my first time exactly working with the iMac project area, the iMovie situation. So just kind of bear with me. It might be sometimes you might see me post one and I might take it down only because I uploaded the wrong one. So,
Right.
but know that this is actually a good experience for somebody who's never been here before. I know a lot of people have been like, well,
Yeah, a lot of people
Alabama,
see. That's
but
what I'm saying. A lot of people they even question me. All my the friends in my what's the word that I'm looking for? Anyway, my associates, my friends and the associates that I told that I was coming out here, they all said the same thing, like Alabama, like who goes there, But believe it or not, I had a great time in Alabama. I had a lot more fun in Alabama than I've had in other places that I've visited.
Right.
So don't think that don't be closed minded to think that some place that nobody really talks about. Something that's not a trend is
Right.
not just as fun or even
Right.
more fun than it is if you go somewhere where everybody knows like that main vacation spot to go
Right.
to.
Right.
So this was something different for me. I definitely wanted to, at one point in time in my life, wanted to visit, the South, because, a lot of stuff happened here. There's a lot
Yeah.
of, especially, for African Americans, there's a lot of history that comes from these places.
Yeah.
This is like this is like where we derive from, so, first coming into America.
Right.
So,
We
there
got
it is. And I learned a lot, met a lot of nice people,
All right.
met a lot of great people.
Yeah,
There's, I mean, and we're
they
talking
came
about
back
strangers.
Right, they came back to back. Even the lady at Wells Fargo.
Yeah, Wells Fargo Bank. Shout outs to Portia.
Yeah,
That's
her.
she
took care of us.
Yeah,
She took care of
like
us.
just the people. I'm telling you, just the people here are inspiring because,
Right.
like, coming from where I come from, you don't talk to people unless you know them, unless you're
Southern
friends with them, unless you
hospitality.
work with them. Yeah, it's that Southern hospitality.
Yeah. I want to do a shout out to an amazing lady that he allowed me to speak to, because she was just making sure that he was here on time and he was off the plane, and she was blowing him up. But I told her he's being taken good care of. Because like I said, the strangers, like my friends, he had just met them, so it was like, what's going on, but they took well to each other, like real good. So
Mhm.
that's what eased my mind, and I thought that everything was good. But shout out to her. Shout out to your sister Ashley for calling in and checking on you, man, because everybody was worried about him, y'all. They thought something was going to happen to him. But
Yeah, and
it
they
was
know
smooth.
what it is because anybody that knows me knows that I don't really like if I travel by ground. I don't
Right.
travel in the air. So
Right.
like they know that I was worried because I
Right.
told everybody I was worried. I was like, look, man, I'm nervous, and like people are crazy, man.
Right.
And then it's not just people are crazy. Like shit happens.
Right.
So I don't want to just be up in the air. Then, but
Right.
let's not talk about that because I still have to get on another 7-hour
Right,
flight
to get back.
Yeah.
And he'll be laying later on tonight or whatever.